Hello guys, in today's video we're going to check out the best mid-range phones in 2020. I made this list based on my personal opinion and I tried to list them based on their price, quality, durability and more. To find out more information about these mid-range phones you can check out the description below and don't forget to subscribe to stay up to date with the latest technology reviews. Okay, so let's get started with the video. At number 5 it's the Moto G8 Plus. One of the most valuable mid-range phones on the market today is the Moto G8 Plus. This one has a very nice performance for a mid-range phone, the design is pretty cool, and the build quality is also top-notch on this one. It has plenty more features that anyone who's looking for a decent mid-range phone would love. I noticed that the design of this is pretty cool. It has a plastic build and it comes in two colour options, crystal pink and cosmic blue. The best feature in my opinion is that the logo area doubles up as a fingerprint sensor. On the left edge it only houses a hybrid SIM card slot, and on the right side it houses the power button and the volume rocker. On the top it has a microphone and a 3.5mm jack, and on the bottom it has a microphone, USB-C port and a speaker grill. You should also know that a soft protective plastic case is placed in the box for added protection, which is a pretty cool and great thing if you drop your phone a lot. Moving on, we have the display of the G8. The screen is an IPS LCD panel with a full HD plus 2280 by 1080p resolution. It has a U-shaped notch up top and in my opinion it looks good. This screen has a 19:9 aspect ratio which makes this phone great for watching all sorts of videos. The bezels of the phone are pretty thin except the chin area, which is a little bit bigger than the sides and the top bezel. Above the notch you'll see a speaker grill which works with the bottom speaker. It's packed with Qualcomm Snapdragon 665 octa-core processor with a built-in AI engine with 4GB of RAM and 64GB of internal storage. Something else that you should know is that it has an attractive water-repellent design, which is great, and it protects your phone from accidental splashes and spills. I should also mention that this phone can take pretty awesome pictures too. On the rear side it has a primary 48MP sensor paired with a 16MP ultra-wide lens and a 5MP depth sensor. These three combined can give you astonishing results. Also on the front it has a 25MP selfie camera housed within the notch cutout that can take some great pictures. Overall I can say that this phone is one of the best Motorola phones, and also it's one of the best mid-range phones on the market. At number 4 it's the Xiaomi Mi 9. The Xiaomi Mi 9T is another amazing mid-range phone that has a very stylish design, great battery life and amazing specs. It doesn't have water resistance or stereo sound, but still, given the phone's price, you'll get excellent value. It has many more great features that many high-end phones have. The first thing that caught my eye was the Xiaomi Mi 9T's design. This one is a great looking phone with a buffed aluminium frame that melds smoothly into the phone's front and rear glass panels. It has a full screen with no notches whatsoever, and that's because it has a pop-up selfie camera, which in my opinion is amazing. It feels very slick thanks to the curved body. In the front it's protected by the Gorilla Glass 5, it has a great headphone jack, and also it has a USB-C port and a mono speaker on the bottom, and on the right side it has the volume rocker buttons and the power button. You should also know that this phone has an amazing screen and it can display very sharp and vivid colours. It has a very great 6.39-inch display with a resolution of 1080 by 2340p with Super AMOLED tech, which delivers amazing experiences at a very reasonable price. It also has great viewing angles and the brightness is strong enough for outdoor use. It's equipped with a Qualcomm Snapdragon 730 SoC chipset that has 2 ARM Cortex-A76 and 6 ARM Cortex-A55 cores. These can clock up to 2.2 GHz and 1.8 GHz perfectly. It has 6GB of RAM and 128GB of internal storage. I'd highly recommend this phone to anyone who's looking for a premium phone that comes at a very reasonable price. I should also mention that the front-facing 20MP sensor has a 0.8 pixel size and an f2.2 aperture, which can take brilliant selfies, and also the portrait mode can take some extraordinary portraits. With the portrait mode you can also change your backdrop entirely. Overall this phone is great, and you should consider taking a look at it if you've already decided to buy a budget phone. At number 3, it's the Samsung Galaxy A70. Samsung has done a great job with the mid-range and budget phones over the past 5 years, and it can be a little confusing as to which one you should buy. But if you want something in the middle, getting most of the features without sacrificing performance, camera and screen size, then the Samsung Galaxy A70 might be the one for you. The first thing you'll notice about the Samsung Galaxy A70 is that it has a pretty nice look and it's a bit different than most of the other smartphones in the market. This doesn't translate to a bad thing. It has plenty of colour options and it looks great in the hands. It's comfortable to use and it has a very premium look. The introduction of the front camera to the Infinity O display gives the phone a breath of fresh air. As every manufacturer is trying to copy the Apple designs, Samsung is creating a thing of its own. The Infinity O screen also has the ultrasonic fingerprint sensor in it. On the rear it has a 32-megapixel camera along with a 5-megapixel and an 8-megapixel. On the front it has a 32-megapixel camera that can take plenty of great pictures. It's packed with a Qualcomm Snapdragon 675 octa-core processor and 6GB of RAM. The Samsung Galaxy A70 is a pretty fast phone, showing great numbers in synthetic benchmark tests of general performance. Battery life is decent, but not the best. You should know that you can comfortably get through the day without having battery anxiety though. It's a pretty good phone, and it has plenty of great features, so if you want a mid-range phone that looks very cool and performs amazingly, then you should check out the Samsung Galaxy A70. At number 2, it's the Google Pixel 3a. Moving up, we have the Google Pixel 3a. This one is one of the best mid-range phones on the market today. It has an excellent build quality, great battery life, and many more features that make this phone look and feel like a top-notch premium phone. It may not look like it delivers great qualities, but it surely does. When it comes to style, the Google Pixel 3a has a very nice looking design. It's pretty light and it measures 6 by 2.8 by 0.3 inches, weighing just 3.2 ounces. It's entirely made out of plastic and it looks great. It has AGC's Dragontail strengthened glass, which is not as great as the Corning Gorilla Glass, but it's still good enough. It has a USB Type-C port on the bottom and a headphone jack on the back. On the right side it has the power button and the volume rockers. Something else that you should know is that it has a very nice screen and it can display plenty of details. It has a pretty nice OLED display with a 2220 by 1080p resolution. The screen looks great and it delivers great colour accuracy. It has a Snapdragon 670 processor, 4GB of RAM and 64GB of internal storage. It performs well and can complete everyday tasks without a problem. It has many more great features that make this phone so special. I was surprised by this phone's camera because with a single rear camera it can shoot amazing photos. It has a single rear camera at 12.2 megapixels with an f1.8 aperture. Even though it doesn't sound like a top-notch camera at only 12 megapixels, it can take some amazing pictures, and this camera is compared to other top-notch camera phones. On the front it has an 8 megapixel camera that can take great selfies and has plenty of modes. I can say it's one of the best phones at this price because it delivers so much for the price. It has 3000 mAh battery, which is small but it can last all day long, and overall it's a phone that has so many great features and specs. It doesn't cost much and it's one of the best mid-range phones in the market today. If you've already decided to buy a great phone that has a lot to offer and comes at a very reasonable price, you should consider taking a look at this one too. And at number 1, it's the OnePlus 7T. One of the best mid-range phones in the market today is the OnePlus 7T. This one has an amazing performance with lots of other great features. It has a nice minimalistic design with great build quality, the cameras of this phone are top-notch and the battery life is also great. Overall it's a nice flagship phone with many great features that won't let you down. The design of this phone is beautiful. It has a nice build quality and it feels nice in the hand. It has the latest Snapdragon 855 Plus processor with 256GB of internal storage and 8GB of RAM. Unfortunately, it doesn't have a memory card slot, but in my opinion 256GB of internal storage is good enough. The screen is very well protected and has a 6.55-inch AMOLED display which can produce very sharp and vivid colours. I should also mention that this phone runs on Oxygen OS 10.0.7. It has 3 great cameras on the rear. The main one is 48 megapixels, the telephoto lens is 12 megapixels and the ultra-wide lens is 16 megapixels. The front-facing camera has 16 megapixels, which is great for selfies. Overall, the cameras can take pretty nice pictures. It provides excellent picture details in low-light situations too. The curves on the display might be a bit of a problem, but on the OnePlus 7T Pro they look amazing and you won't have a problem with accidental touches. There are some missing features on this one which might be a disadvantage for this phone, like the IP rating or the wireless charging, but anyway this phone still provides amazing performance and has many more great features that make the OnePlus 7T one of the best Android phones on the market. It has a nice big screen and sometimes you might find it a bit difficult to use with one hand, but after some time you'll get used to it. I'd highly recommend this phone to anyone who wants a premium phone that comes at a very reasonable price. It has a nice non-removable LiPo 3800 mAh battery, and the battery life of this phone can last all day long without charging, and it has a fast charger that can charge your phone pretty quickly. They've improved the fast charging too, and the OnePlus 7T can charge your phone up to 12% faster than the older versions. To sum up, I'd say that this phone is one of the best mid-range smartphones available, and you should see what the OnePlus 7T can do for you. Thanks for watching. I hope you liked the video. If you found it helpful, please remember to leave a like and subscribe to my channel to see more videos like this in the future. If you have any questions related to these products, you can leave a comment below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can.